Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so after we have completed that species diversity and equal that genetic diversity, we are coming to the vast kind of diversity. This is the third type of diversity which you can see, that is ecosystem diversity. This can also be called as ecological diversity. So I will just write over here, this ecosystem diversity can also be written as ecological diversity. Ecological diversity. So both the terminologies we can use. If I try to explain this particular terminology, what does this means? That means we have so many different type of ecosystem in our biome. Obviously the biome means, which you can see in the slide, this whole earth, and the whole global earth is having so many different type of ecosystem, all the living organisms which are involved over here. So in the whole earth, if we see, there are lots of ecosystem, and all these ecosystem are actually little bit different from each other. Region wise, temperature wise, it is different. So this reflects the ecosystem when we talk about, or ecosystem diversity when we explain. This reflects the number of niche. We have already learned before the niche, number of niche, number of trophic levels in the ecosystem. There are different type of trophic levels are also there, and the various ecological process that sustain the energy flow. Even we have seen the food webs also, and we have also learned about the nutrient cycle. So all are actually involved in this ecological diversity. Suppose if I explain this particular ecological diversity on the basis of region, so just let me draw over here one column, and one side I will write India, and other side I will write Norway. Hope all of you know where is India and where is Norway. Now, if you talk about India, then India is having lot of diversification in the ecosystem. Like suppose India, if you talk about, it is having lots of rivers. We don't know how many numbers of exactly the rivers are there in whole India. Lots of ponds are there. Then obviously India is very rich in forest area. India is very rich in obviously desert area also. Lots of deserts are there. There are lots of wetlands are there in India. There are estuaries in India. So there is lot of, we can say, the diversification in the ecosystem. But if I compare this full India's diversification with Norway, hardly we find all these kinds of variety in Norway. So Norway has, compared to India, very less, we can say, rivers. Whether rivers are there or not, I don't have so many ideas about how many rivers it is having. Ponds are not there, of course. Forest also very less, maybe a very less dense forest can be there. Okay, so that means if you compare the Norway's ecosystem and India, India is very rich. India has a greater ecosystem. Diversification is also more than Norway and other countries which are there in the polar regions. Why this has happened? Because of its climate. So climate has a very important role, you can say, in this ecosystem, and to bring that particular diversity. Though we have already learned what is the diversity meaning, that is a variety. Okay, so variety of ecosystems can be there in this India. So nature has taken, do you think that in one day only so many ecosystem developed in India? It can never be, because we have already learned the ecological succession. Okay, so in that particular ecological succession we have some idea, like how we have diversified so much, and how the India is so rich in their ecosystem. It takes millions of years, it took. Where we are standing now at present in our biome, it took millions of years to come at this particular rich diversity. But why are we doing this one? What is the importance? We have to actually save all this ecosystem. An ecosystem can be saved if we can save the species. And of course, all of you know about a particular bird which is already extinct. The bird name is dodo. So the dodo bird was found in Mauritius. This dodo bird was actually found before the dinosaur age also. Okay, so it is actually extinct now. Now, when it is extinct, and we can see not only this dodo bird, we are very much sure over here, certain species are there which are endangered species about to get extinct. So, if it is continued like this, how much years it has taken to develop this ecosystem, we have to conserve it. Otherwise, what will happen? In this present rate, if the species are getting lost like this, obviously in 2 centuries we may lose all the most important species of our biome. Because of this, we have to know the diversity, and we have to know how can we conserve the diversity. So this is a realization among all of us, that how we will conserve. This is a very vital environmental issue, we can say. Moving on to the next particular part, next slide, where I will explain you this ecological diversity. There are variety, already I have given you certain explanation, but it is written here. You can just go through it. There are variety of forest, deserts, grasslands, streams, lakes, ocean, and other biological communities, which are all related to this diversification. So if we don't know this one, we will not be able to get an idea about what is ecological diversity. So this is very important part over here which we have to know. Now, already over here I have included little bit that what we have done. Species diversity means it is coming under your ecosystem diversity also, in the sense that there are so many different type of species which makes our ecosystem as diverse. So diversity of the ecological complex in the biotic communities in a given area is actually called as ecosystem diversity. And species means variety of species are actually there. So this is a bigger spectrum, you can say. This entire thing is a biological spectrum on the earth. We will not be able to imagine also how much diversification can be there in our ecosystem. So now we move on to this, which is very important. You have to note it down. Once you go through it, I will explain you what are the scales of ecological diversity. Mind it, we are doing ecological diversity, so there are different scales of ecological diversity. We will start from down. Okay, this is given by Robert Whittaker. I think so you all have heard about the name of this Robert Whittaker, who was the one who actually gave us the kingdom classification, which you all have learnt in the junior classes. The kingdom classification, that is plant kingdom, then Monera kingdom, Porifera, there's a kingdom, Plantae kingdom, fungi. So it is actually given by Whittaker. So Robert Whittaker only created these scales of diversity, and we will start from the down one: alpha diversity, then beta diversity, and gamma diversity. So when we talk about this alpha diversity, this is a local diversity. Local means in your own area. Suppose where you all are living, you are living in a particular, suppose in Kolkata, you are living in Howrah region. In Sikkim, Sikkim means so many, so vast area it is. But in Sikkim, which area you are living? In Nepal, which area you are living? Surrounding your area, whatever ecosystem you can see, that is the alpha diversity or the local diversity within a uniform habitat type. Suppose at my area, if I consider, I see lots of insects, I see lots of birds, I have lots of, I can see lots of trees related to the herbs, shrubs, as well as the trees are there. If I consider the animals, dogs are there, cats are there. If I consider other vertebrates, then I can see amphibians, I can see reptiles, because where I live in the soil, there are a lot of snakes also. And now you know it is a rainy season, snakes will be there. But yes, I have no lion around my own diversity. My alpha diversity doesn't have the lion because I am not living in a wildlife ecosystem. So this is around me what I am telling. So this is what we call as a local diversity. This represents a species diversity within a community. And in my community, suppose for example, we have lots of birds over here and lots of butterflies comes over here. We have a campus here, so we live in a campus and lots of butterflies they come. So what I can say is the number of species which is more here, a different type of butterflies I see. That means the richness in the species, is actually what the butterflies, or maybe different birds are there. But what I cannot see, so many snakes are not there. That means here the richness is not there. So this is actually what I am trying to tell you or explain you about the alpha diversity. So this we will be doing in a clear manner in the next slides. Okay, now come to this which I have already explained you. Again, you can note it down here. Alpha diversity, beta diversity, the change in the species can happen anytime. Composition can happen anytime between the two distinct communities. And gamma diversity is actually large geographical area. I will explain you. Okay. Next is we will come to this. Here I have included alpha diversity. Obviously, all of you know the symbol of alpha diversity. Alpha diversity is actually symbolized as this, like this. All of you know this is the sign of alpha. This is explained here. You can note it down also. It is the biodiversity within a particular area which I was telling you, usually expressed by the number of species richness, which I told you that if I want to find out what is my alpha diversity, I will write lots of butterflies. So my species richness in this alpha diversity is butterfly. This can be measured by counting the number of taxa, a distinct group of organisms. Suppose I take butterfly. How many butterflies I can see in my area every day? Suppose I see in my area 20 different type of butterflies. And this is not same as that of the other species. 20 different type of birds are not here. 20 different types of amphibians are not here. So the richness is in butterfly. So that is giving you the idea about the alpha diversity. Coming to the beta diversity, it is a measure of a biodiversity which works by comparing the species diversity between ecosystems. This involves the comparing the number of taxa that are unique to each of the ecosystem. For example, if you draw a Venn diagram, alpha diversity can be explained as one circle. This is another alpha diversity. This particular portion can be explained as beta diversity. That means some common species can be there. What is the comparison? Or maybe this particular area which is representing the beta diversity, this is representing that some comparison can be brought maybe in the species of butterfly. One of my friend is living in this alpha diversity and I am living in this alpha. Suppose this is alpha 1 and this is alpha 2, and we, when we both talk to each other, we say that I told that I have a very nice I have seen a butterfly with stripes, yellow stripes on the background of black. That particular person is also telling, yes, that butterfly comes in my place also. So this is how we compare. So it is the rate of change in the species composition across the habitats. Some change can be there among the communities. It gives a quantitative measure of diversity of communities that experience changing environments. This will be more clear when I will explain you with the diagram. Now we come to the gamma diversity. Let's go to the gamma diversity now. Gamma diversity is applying to a larger geographical area. Suppose I am living in a smaller part of Shiliguri, but the whole Shiliguri will be representing the gamma diversity. I am living in Jyoti Nagar, Shiliguri. Someone lives in the Bidhan Nagar, Shiliguri. Someone lives in the Phashidewa, Siliguri. Someone lives in Matigara, Shiliguri. So all this full Siliguri actually is covering up the gamma diversity. So this is we can say the larger geographical scale. Okay, and over here obviously lots of species will be added. They will be encountered as a geographical experiments. Okay, replacements within the habitat type. Thus, gamma diversity is a species turnover rate with a distance between the sites of similar habitat and with the expanding geographical areas. So if I explain this one, obviously it is a landscape diversity. That means gamma diversity can be much more. It is called as regional diversity. I can write it down over here. This is also known as regional diversity. Regional diversity. This can also be called as regional diversity. This presents the total richness of the species. How many are there? Found in different geographical regions. Like in Matigara, some butterfly will be there. In my place, some butterfly will be there. That is totally different. So overall, how many species we can see in this particular area? Okay. So when each habitat has a unique species composition, gamma diversity is equal to the average of the all alpha diversities and even the beta diversity. So if we compare this one and represent this, I can just explain you this particular gamma diversity as well as the alpha diversity by drawing an Venn diagram. Hope you will be able to understand over here the Venn diagram. Suppose I represent one alpha Venn diagram here, another alpha which is overlapping, and the overall. This overall is actually the gamma. It represents the gamma. Okay, this is the alpha and this is the beta. So this can be represented in the form of Venn diagrams.